Hello, hello. How we all doing? Fat Cappy, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. DJO, hello, hello. Thanks for popping in. Oh, let's get me situated over here. Oh. Alright, that'll do. Okay. Orange Low, great to have you. David, welcome. Prashan, welcome back, my friend. Hope you're doing well. All right, so I'm thinking today, bit of a mixed bag. All right. Biola, lol, how you doing? So, I'm thinking that we do a bit of mix of everything. That's what I feel like doing today. So I want to do some more of this kind of stuff that we did the other day, which was quite fun. Very graphic, very simplified sort of finding the shapes kind of deal. And at the same time, I also would like to do a little bit of anatomy. So I don't know if you can see, you guys on Instagram probably don't, but on YouTube you got some references here of like some weightlifters. All right, a runner. I think I drew this lady a very long time ago, but it's like a good indication of like if we were to box it up, right, that kind of twist sort of deal going on with the running. So that's what I was thinking, doing a bit of all over the place. I'll give you guys the link to the reference board so you can follow along if you would like. All right, okay, I gotta start. I'll get deep into this. We're not starting yet. We're not starting yet. Let me give you the link. Where is... No, that's Twitch. Hold the phone, please. Un momento. Por favor. Pinterest. Let's whip this guy up. All right. Here. It says gym anatomy reference. It's really not. It's just like athletic. And I've kind of just started it. So here you go. Everyone. Vas, what's going on? Thanks for popping in. And let me pin that for you. Beautiful. All right. So it should have all the ones that are in my pure ref here. Hassan, welcome back. Man, haven't been here for some time, but that drawing of the guy walking was... you're too kind, David. You're too kind. Ryan, welcome back. Hope you've been well. I appreciate you, Vas. Okay. So I think I'm feeling shapey right now. I want to throw some shapes down. I really like this guy. There's a lot going on here that you might not be privy to. All right. There's a nice, to use a fancy thing, the contrapposto. I could be saying that. Like, the shoulders and the hips are like, they're opposite. So that's cool. It's a very long lens, so there's going to be subtle kind of perspective things. Like this foot is only slightly in front of this one, but this is the stuff that we've got to sort of take into account now. Instagram doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. So the legs, slight little bit of perspective going on. This hand, we can sort of push it in front of the body, and we're also looking down And you can tell that because we can't see the horizon and this is baseball and you can see the ground, right? So it's an interesting one. That's a damn posture. All right. So what I'm thinking, we do timed again because it keeps us focused, keeps us on task, okay? Otherwise, I'll be here 3 hours later, still working on the same thing. Nothing wrong with that, but for stream, not ideal. All right, so I'm going to do, let's start off with a cheeky 15 minutes, you know, nothing too restrictive. I don't know if you guys can see the timer. Hold on. Let get me out the way. Timer up here, just above. Boom. All right. 15 minutes. I'll let people just filter in a little bit, just a smidge longer. I'll give you a minute and a half to get here. If not, consider yourself late. All right. But yeah, so this is what we was working on last week. This dude, happy with, like, it's cool for like a little sketchy sort of lighting experiment, which was good fun. All right, reference, stylized, reference, stylized. Looks nothing like the reference. Had to do some things. Because that's one of the things, right? When you're stylizing stuff, you're inventing shapes. You're inventing new shapes. So you've got to change everything else around it, which is sometimes the tricky part, right? And then we did this guy as well, which was a good bit of fun. I love a good skull. That's like my go-to recently. All right. Enough fluffing about. Now I'm going to be using shout out, the filthy plugin, to automatically fill the shapes in. You don't have to do this. An alternative could be getting a brush, right? Any brush, squish it down, flatten that. Like if you're looking at the brush settings, flatten it. This used to be circle, but then you flatten it. Just get the whatever brush you've got that's a circle brush, right? And then what I would challenge you to do is take transfer off. So then it's just, there's no, what's the word? Opacity, like based on pressure. Idris, I'm not sure what you're talking about. And what I want here is not the size. So I'd take the size pressure. It's basically as if you got just a big blocky paintbrush, right? That's what we're going for. But I'm going to use a filthy plugin because I enjoy it. And you can also get it yourself. Link in the description. Early morning plugs. What are we going to do? All right. Get the study juice in. Let's close all the other tabs. Close all your other tabs to keep focus in the 15 minutes. Make sure everything's working. Give myself a little bit of a boundary to work within. I'll allow that. I'll allow that. Start off with a boundary. Let's all start with our boundaries. Good life lesson there. Okay. Oh, get out of here. Something to work within. Now I'm going to turn off, if you do have the filthy plugin, I know that some of you do, shout out. I'll turn off hue shifts, right? We're trying to study here. We're trying to learn. We're trying to control what we're putting down. We're not going willy-nilly. All right, I'm going to start with that. I'm not getting any further than this, okay? New layer, and I'll allow. What has happened? What's happened? Why is my pen just not working? Something's... Oh, here. I've opened the bloody this thing again. All right. And we're back. I'll allow a clipping mask, okay? A clipping mask on top of this layer, so then if you do draw, you keep it inside the lines. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but one thing to keep into account when we start the timer, where's the top gonna be and where's the bottom gonna be? Right, a good little thing. I'm gonna go from top to bottom. I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but a good little mental thing just to start going back and forth between proportions of the reference and what we're doing. Where's the extremities? The top of the head and the bottom of the feet. All right, enough chatting. Catch you later, Fat Cappy. Thanks for popping in. It's a pleasure as always. I'm doing well, Artistic. How you doing? Travis Anderson, great to have you back. Christian Nee, holy shit. What pen do you use? How dare you? Lamia, this is Photoshop. Okay. Yeah, Christian, you fucking poisoning the chat. Antonio, how you doing? All right. Enough fluffing about. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Hold on. Is it going? No. All right, 15 minutes on the clock. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do color straight off as well, so I'm not going to worry about doing black and white or anything like that. I want to find the big mass of this shape to begin with. I think I've already messed up, but that's okay. It's going to happen. It'll come together. Now there's some nice, really nice little indications of, what am I, this, I mean, look, if this isn't you pause right now, if this isn't showing that things are going to look horrible in the beginning, I don't know what will. But there are little opportunities that we've got here, right? Really, really cool little opportunities, like with the curve of the pantaloon. CM Mars, how you doing? All right, now let's... Oh, coffee's coming back on me. Leg, boom. Leg backwards, boom. Subtle. Shape. And perspective to show that it's in front. This leg is closer to us, right? So we want to show a little bit of that. Let's add in. What is going on here? Oh, I'm on luminance lock. Okay. Let's whip the head in. It's going to be wrong. Could be wrong. Probably wrong. Don't worry about it. Okay? You are not on stream right now. Yours doesn't have to look any which way. We're not trying to impress anyone. We're trying to learn. Shape. All right, cool. Shape. Now it's looking a bit clip-arty. But that'll stop once we start adding in some of the shadow shapes, okay? Sharon, how you doing? Great to have you. Hope you've been well. You making the trip out to Lightbox this year? All right, and I'm off the side. My apologies, Instagram. My apologies. Forgiveness, please. Okay. And you got the bat. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Let's start with the just that to begin with, and the bat is going to do something like that. All right. Now, this is where the fun starts. Refine. We can use the delete option and or the eraser, whatever you've got on hand. Oh, Sharon, oh, fantastic. Got there safe? Good, good, good. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing maybe some more. I'm thinking about a lot of things, if I'm honest. I want to do all the things. Why do we have to sleep? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I would love to just not have to sleep. All right, now we're getting one step. Let's say if there was a scale of simplification of shapes, we're at like a 0 right now. We've got to start, let's nudge it up to like a 3, okay? Start looking at some of the smaller shapes, squinting our eyes. I'm not even going to worry about the letters to begin with. They're just like an afterthought for now, okay? I want to start understanding how I can show some of the folds and the creases in the tuchus, in the arms, right? Real subtle shapes that can do a lot for us. Hello, where are the... All right, we're back. Okay. All right, and then we can even do little things like just the invitation, let's say, the whisper of some of these. It's quite dull if I'm like, I'm not loving the desaturation that I've got going here. I think we can do a little bit with the background, potentially. We'll see. But just a little distant whisper of these, I don't know what you'd even call them. The uniform accents, let's say. All right, which are again, you look here, right? We're going to zoom in. This is an opportunity to show form. Boom, that calf, right? And then this one, the opposite, because it's in front. Even at this simplified stage, that helps give that illusion of one foot in front of the other. Now he's got stick legs at the moment. We'll fix that. Antonio, do you have any tips about finding your style, like maybe a pathway? Anyone that's going to tell you that there's a direct pathway to finding your style other than getting inspiration as much as you can and learning from artists that you admire. That's really the quote-unquote path. There's tips and techniques for certain styles, but you've really got to think, what gets me going? You know, what's the thing that I'm just like, I see it when I'm scrolling past on whatever platform I'm on. It stops you in your tracks and you're like, woof, how on earth did they do that? That's a good sign. Go into your saved folder in Instagram. Look at what you saved. What's something that really sort of captured your attention and you haven't looked at it, because no one goes back and looks at their saves. If I'm honest, really, let's be honest. You save it with the best of intentions, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Sometimes it does, but a lot of the times you look at it a year later and like, oh yeah, that's right. That was cool. Okay. Slowly getting there. We're getting something. What time have we got? 7 minutes, man. All right. We've got to start really knuckling down. I want to bump up a little bit of this saturation. Really get some of these. Oh, no, not move the guy. let's get some of these blues happening where they might not technically be, but that's kind of what I'm seeing a little bit. All right, even here. A lot of purples as well. And this is a skill to sort of refine as well. So like having like a little saturation slider in your head when you're looking at things in real life or in reference, right? Antonio, of course. No, I appreciate it, my friend. It's amazing that people are watching, if I'm honest. Like, that's what I feel like. I'm super grateful. All right, so we really do want to just make sure that we're getting some of this contrast as well, because we might have to do we might have to do some overtime. Do a bit of overtime. Nothing wrong with that. I always do it. Because this one I really wanted to understand a little bit more about the color variation. There's something about baseball. Also, fun fact, I used to play baseball. It was a big part of my life there for a while. And I enjoyed the aesthetics of it. There's something like the contrast between the cooler greens and the warmer dirt. And particularly at the different times of day, because you're playing outside, you can play in like sunset. It's really cool. And oftentimes the uniforms are white, so they reflect a lot of the environment, which is cool. All right, let's squint our eyes down and start really trying to find some of these shadow shapes. Very subtle shadow shapes, mind you. It's not like a super easy, like necessarily clear shadow shape that we've got going on here with this dude. Lana, happy, oh, of course, yeah, happy Easter. It was Easter yesterday for me, but happy Easter to those that they're on the Sunday. Welcome back, Lana. I hope you're doing well. Do a little bit of shadow on top of the face. All right, and we should really try and get, I guess, yeah, we'll put some of the letters on and whatever. So 3. Do we do the actual letter or do we do some interpretate? No, I mean, that's terrible, but he's in that world where everything else is wonky, so embrace the wonk. Don't even worry about it. And then we can just goes across here. Cool. Now I really want to darken some of these darker values because it's looking a little bit washed out. The value range isn't as exciting as I would like it to be. So let's push some of these darks down in here. So we got the wristband here. We got some of this going on here, even on the helmet. We could push that just a little bit more. I want to add some blue in the helmet though. Add some blue because I think he's in daylight. So I want to give that indication of that. I still want some lighter values. Stick one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Darks. Pushing those dark flavors. Those dark colors. Alright, he's got tiny little calves though. That we can fix. Or it's a style choice. Whatever you want to say or do. Sugar beads, what's going on? All right, now we could do a cheeky Yeah, let's do a cheeky layer mode on top. And let's see what we can produce in this last minute. Screen, that's what I'm after. It's really not as punchy as I'd like it to be. That's my fault. My fault. But at least I've recognized that. You know, now we've got a little bit of that illusion, just pushing those lights here. All right, a little bit on the side here. There's some creasy stuff I want to do in there. Let's do another quick layer mode. Let's copy this, mask that out, multiply. But really make the multiply layer blue. Oh no, I'm doing it on the freaking mask layer. What's the time? 44 seconds. Okay. Highest priority. The crevice. High priority. The folds. High priority. More folds here. A little bit high priority. It basically has no expression, but that's not high on my priority list. Now we're gonna go over time. We're going over time. I'm telling you here right now. We're going on a 4-foot painting. Nice one. All right, let's do some merging. Hold on. Let's merge this one with this one here. Now it's, come on, get out of here. Here, boom, there. Let's merge these guys. And let's assess to see where we could punch this up a little bit more up. Okay, we've got the essence. The essence is there. Now I've got to push it a little bit further. I want to shape it up a little bit. Push these calves out. Boom, boom. Right, because we're kind of giving ourselves a little bit of a canvas here. Right, he was looking a little bit stick figurey. Sam, what's going on? It's an off week from studio work for me, which can only mean one thing. Monday, Ben streams, you know it. Happy Easter, Mel. What do you think of banana ball in the USA? Kind of seems for baseball what the BBL is for cricket here. Banana, I've got no idea what you're talking about. My apologies. Banana ball. Joel, what's going on? Have I ever read The Artist's Way? Is that Henri? Something Henri? No, I haven't. I've heard of it though. Or is that another one? I might be thinking of a different one. Which is entirely possible. Because I'm very uncultured when it comes to the periphery of art stuff. That's something I've got to work on. All right, I want to show you that contrapposto. All right, so we'll do that with. Now we're in danger zone right now for me to noodle away, but we zoom out and it's like, all right, it reads enough. Let's do a little bit to the background. Not bad for 17 minutes. Banana Ball is awesome. It's the Savannah Bananas stuff, sort of like goofy, fun baseball. I've never seen that in my life. Speaking of banana Slayer. What's going on? Julia something. Oh, Julia something. The Artist's Way. No, I haven't. Is it worth it? Give me a quick synopsis, if you can be bothered. What's the tool stuck to your color wheel? It says filthy or something. Yep, filthy. The filthy plugin. Boom. Right here. It just allows me to fill in the shapes really quickly. Links in the description. All right, here I want to show variation because that's going to help us out a little bit. And one thing, as you do this stuff more and more, you get attuned to the color differences. Oh God, what's happened there? In very similar things. So this red up here is a very cool red. Jimatoons, welcome back. I've never heard of Banana Ball and I live in LA. What is it? That's what I'd like to know. Julia, great to have you. Journal for creativity and your inner child being kind to it. Book synopsis. Okay, all right. They still play a baseball game and want to win, but there are entertainment pieces throughout. Think dancers and a guy on stilts for the whole... Okay, right. Sounds interesting. Because that's one thing. I enjoyed baseball. Playing it, couldn't watch a game. It was mind-numbing to me. Loved being in the action, loved the camaraderie, the team and everything. Could not give a frick about what was going on with watching it. Right, so I'm trying to cool down that like little bit of a difference between the dirt, the substrate. I don't even know if substrate's the right word. You know what I'm saying. You sent me some banana stuff. I hate watching sports, but playing is fun. Yeah, I never was into watching sport. Mind you, it is a bit nostalgic when I hear a footy game like AFL, sitting down with Dad, watching it, Dad yelling at the TV. In a supportive way. Yelling at that sounds a bit aggressive, but yeah, he was. He still does. But it's like a football game, and like it's weird. This like smells are one of those things that can just take you back. Like they're like a nostalgiaful fuel. So if I smell beer and I hear a football game, I just think about sitting on the couch with Dad when I was like really young, and just and falling asleep. I'd always fall asleep watching the footy game. Mind you, I do maybe not so much now. But I don't know if you'd call it a sport, more of a game. I can watch poker. Poker's good fun. It used to be a lot more fun when there was like characters and it was like entertainment. Like back in the kind of heyday of like the World Series of Poker and that kind of stuff. I wanted to be a professional poker player. I was like practicing for it there for a little while as well. Ugh. Good fun. But didn't continue. But yes, good fun watching. That's about the only like sport related thing that I can watch. Let me think, is there anything else? I don't even know. Love the movie Round. It's one of my favorite movies. Good call, Lana. Fantastic. But can you play poker? I definitely can. Very, very well. Not very, very well, but I can hold my own. I'll once in a blue moon, I'll go and play a cash game down at Sky City. If you're at Lightbox again, I'm bringing a deck. Gemma 2. All right, we're playing heads up. What's on the line? That's what I want to know. I refuse to play for free. I only played baseball because I was good at it. God bless my parents. Who had to watch. Oh, I know. I think about that all the time. I'm like, oh, what a. Oh. And that was before like for me it was like playing for money. I'm down, Gemma. I'll hold you to that. Yeah, I think about that all the time. And that was before like iPhones and stuff. They had to like talk to other parents. Ugh. Oh. Nightmare. No, I'm being facetious. I'm sure it was okay. Let me rephrase. Taking your money. Oh, Gemma. All right. I'm down. I'm so down. Now, anyone that's watching, that is it. It's all jokes. We're not. I don't know about your laws over there with the old playing for money. It's play money. We're gonna play for. All fun. Mind you, when I say watching it, like we've got a stadium here in Adelaide. Going to watch a game of football, like in person, that's good fun. I must say that the atmosphere is wicked. But yeah, watch it on telly. Not for me. Not for me. Monopoly money, you know exactly. That's right. Using reference is cheating. What game are we playing, Action Gamer? What game are we playing where it's cheating? That is what I would like to know. Because one thing I want you to go look up, if that's, all right, for any of you, all right, look at me. For any of you that think that reference is cheating, okay, I want you to look up Norman Rockwell and look at his book. I don't have it here. Something about photos and Norman Rockwell. You can Google. You know, you're smart people. You know what to do. Look that up and then tell me if using reference is cheating. Monopoly money and bragging rights. That's right, Mel. That's right. Ben is a professional poker player in another dimension, definitely. Because there's so many, like, I love it because you're playing against people. You're not playing against a house. And they're the kind of, not sad thing, but it's kind of a solved game in a way. Like, if you play the math way of doing it, it's called GTO, Game Theory Optimal, right? Over a time period, regardless of who you're playing against, you can come out on top. But for me, I like playing like more of a, I don't know. You see whoa, where did everything go? You see like the people that are playing, they've got like their headphones on, they got their glasses on, and they just sit there and they just like, raise, phone. So boring. But back in the day, yeah, people like yelling at each other. They got personalities. They're throwing chips everywhere. They're getting thrown out of the game. Oh, good fun. Daniel Negreanu, my favorite player. He could like tell, like, because you could see the cards, and he'll be like, "Yeah, you got." He'll just call it. He's like, "I think you got pocket queens," and you see it, and the guy's got pocket queens. You're like, "How on earth does he know that? How on earth does he know that?" That was fascinating to me. Bias Lyra, how you doing? Thumb Guns, what's going on? Disney animators use reference every day. 1,000%. All right. As I said, we were in danger, and I proved this right. I got chatting, and we're still working on this guy. Let's move on to something different. Okay. But good little warm up. Get the shape juices going. And I'm out of coffee. Damn. I'm watching this stream on a Windows 95 on a 1993 PC. 1993, good year, fantastic year. So people say using reference is cheating. Is it cheating to me when I show my work? Who is telling you that reference is cheating? You tell me who these people are. I'd love to see their work. I'd love to. Turns out they're like full-on professionals. I'm like, all right, well, fair enough. But yeah, tell them to fuck off. Seriously. Like, what are you in a competition? Poncho, how you doing? Sasha, welcome. Whoa. Yeah, Lana, it grinds my gears. My gears have been ground. And I give you permission to say that. Swear jar 1, that's right. I think it is actually swear jar 1 for today. I hate it when people tell you not to do something or not to do something. Like they've got some, I don't know, holier than thou fucking, they know everything. Hold on, is this still working? Fuck off. Does that work? I don't know, I can't hear it. I would never say that. I would be like, I guess I'm cheating then. That's right. That's fair. Do your version. What the bleep? That's right. I had someone join my live telling me my art was cheating. Well, you know Sugar Beach? You can tell. Okay. Right? Do it in your own way. Don't use reference. Am I also supposed to close my eyes while drawing? Exactly. And Sugar Beach, you can look at that and you can read my lips and tell them exactly that. My family and I play something called Viuda translates to widow. At the end of the poker game, the winner takes 3 shots. That's growing up. Is that winning? I thought that'd be losing. Why is using the reference cheating, but it's okay to sit in nature or in the world and create? That's what I'm saying, Mel. That's what I'm saying. Sounds like the SpongeBob episode. Oh, I so vaguely remember what you're talking. I think I know what you're talking about. Jabberwocky. Did you just have another crash out? I did. When did the okay? Let me hold on. I've got to draw. I've got to draw while I talk, or else this is going to be a chat and stream. Okay, let's study some anatomy with the twisting. All right, we've got to twist some stuff up, particularly the torso. Okay, now Instagram, you can't see bugger all, so let's zoom out just a smidge. You know what it should be? It should be like like depending on how many people that you're playing, it should be like do like rounds where if the other people lose, they will have to take a shot. So if you're really good at poker, you're sober and they're all drunk, and then you take all their money. That's the way to play it. Pot is $10 per person, 8 people total. That's a win plus shots. I don't know. We're on here. That sounds fun. That sounds really, really fun. All right, let's get. Where are we? Next family function. The cousins play Mel. I'm so down. Only if I got to warn you, Mel. If you're okay, only bring what you're willing to lose, because you're gonna lose it. Also, those in chat and Instagram, Mel's my cousin as well. So we've got family in here. Okay. Movie references are a godsend for those people. Those people who say, yep, art nana, art ex nana, nana. I'm with you. Okay, so we're going to do sketching here. So we're going to turn back on pen pressure. We're going to turn back on a little bit of transfer. We're going to turn it to a color that we can see. All right, now we're going to study, and we're also going to chat, because I had a question. When did the saying crash out happen? I feel like that's just come overnight. What's it like, a crash out? That's like the new thing to say now. What's it in replacement of? Someone is just having a hissy fit. But the people who don't use references, what do they draw? I don't know. That's my question. I guess Lion Decker was a big cheater. Same with Sargent, NC Wyeth, Boogerow, and the countless other masters. Yeah, bunch of scumbags. JR, welcome back. Ben, have you heard of Neil the Seal? He's a what? Neil the Seal. This poker talk is hilarious. Oh, I love it. I love it. There's quite. Oh, I had someone. Oh. That. Oh. Sometimes I think about it, just every now and then. Just how sweet it was. There was this guy, right? This was many years ago. He was playing in the casino. Also, yeah, gambling, no, don't recommend it. Whatever, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Sat down, cash game. Cash game is where you can, like, you can leave whenever you want. So it's not a tournament, so you don't have to stay there. So if you go and you win, you can like bounce straight away. So we went in playing a cash game, and this, let's call him a piece of shit. No, that's too kind. He wasn't he wasn't a nice person, right? He made fun of my jumper, right? Now, for those of you, it's a hood, like it's just like a cardigan, like a jumper, right? Just out of nowhere, he just started dissing me. Just straight up. And there's fewer things sweeter than sending him all in and taking that man's money. Oh, it made my week. It made my week. And I didn't say I was not mean back. I just kept my mouth shut. And that was that. And he left, and he was all, so petty, but it felt so good. Oh, it felt so good. Had that a few times where you just had some absolute assholes. Then you're like, all right, cool, yeah, let's play. Oh, amazing. I do love a good night though, when like you don't know the people. Oftentimes you don't. You go there, but then you just get chatting, and it's just like a good hang as well. Just like meeting people, having a chat. You're playing a game which has some stakes, so people are concentrating on the game, but also you're like having a bit of fun. Like it's not a crazy amount of money. Like it's so good. He was probably trying to psych you out, and I think he's just like an Australian term. He's a few roos loose in the top paddock. Go nuts equals crash out. Yeah. Freak out. Exactly. Yeah. So like crash out. When people started to hear that, I thought it was like car accidents. Crash out is in replacement of crash dummies, people who have nothing left to lose and will do heinous things. Okay. So no, I didn't crash out then. No one makes fun of my jumper. I know. And my partner bought it for me. And I was like, oh, that's not very nice. But yeah, amazing. And then you have the times where you've got these like really cocky guys. They're like, there's this thing called the nuts in poker, right? Also, just heads up, yeah, this is also a drawing stream, so let me just talk about this for a second. Here, if we were to think about the rib cage is facing this way. The pelvis, she's facing that way, right? So we've got to consolidate the two somehow. How dare you, Sam? You cheeky bugger. All right. So we've got to sometimes, well, not sometimes, we've got to think about how we're, not consolidate. Figure out how to make them work together. Let's just say that. How is this going to connect to this? I like to find, this is where center lines are freaking the best, right? Find that center line of the chest, swing it down into the pelvis, and that's how we can connect them, right? That's how you can get a bit of clarity from the confusingness. Okay, so we go, if we were to really simplify it out, let's say here, box it up. I know some people don't like boxes. I love boxes. All right, and then if we were to really like extremely do it this way, your spine would be bloody snapping in half, but whatever. Find that center line, boom. That's how you can kind of connect the two nicely, and then you can try and find where the front of the ribs, you guys have probably heard this, the front of the ribs and the front of the pelvis. I don't think it's called, is that the acromion process? No. Yes, no. The pointy bits, when you look at a pelvis, pelvis, all right? The pointy bits here that'll stick out sometimes, right? That's what we're looking for. And somewhere around thereabouts, it's never going to be exactly lined up, but like they're just landmarks, right? So the front of the ribs with the front of the pelvis, and then the back of the ribs are going to have to connect somewhere to the back, and that's how you can get, I guess it's consolidate. You can get a feel for this as well. Also, if this is like a ribbon, right? The ribbon's twisting, center line. Gemma, I don't know if it's the line of action. That's where the line of action used to confuse the living frick out of me, because this is, you can do like the line of action for like the whole pose, but the center line could be completely opposite to that at the same time as well. So I don't think I wouldn't think that it's the line of action. This is really just the center line of the form, right? So this is kind of what we're doing here. Anyway, will we have a chance to see you wear that jumper someday? I don't think so. It scarred me, you know? I want you guys to start paying me out. Recently, I did an advanced neuro course on perception, and I swear like half of it's color theory and value. People were shocked to hear about relative color, so I showed them the Zorn palette. Yeah, yep. Iliac crest, that's right. Iliac crest. What did I say? I said the acromion process. That's somewhere completely different, isn't it? Where's the acromion? That's on the skull, isn't it? Oh, God. See, there you go. You don't have to know it all. Catch you later, Ryan. But yeah, the nuts, okay? So there's this thing in poker called the nuts, where it's the best possible hand, okay? Yeah, it's the scapula or the skull. Yeah, I think it's the skull. It's the skull. The iliac crest, that's the one I was thinking of. This little cresty bit here. Right? Of the pelvis. The pelvis area. The pelvis. Christ. Okay. So the nuts. Oof. When you got you want to have the nuts. Here, clip it. Because there is no possible way that anyone else can have a better hand. But they don't know that, but you know that. Sometimes you don't always know that. But there's situations like, for example, in this example, I had 4 of a kind, which is very, very hard to get. And it was amazing because the other guy thought he had me beat. He was just like, raise, raise. I'm like, okay, check, raise. Okay, check. All right. Raise. I'm just like all in. And he's like, oh, boom. And I was like, wow, bam. It was just, he wasn't mean. He was just cocky. And I was just like, okay. Oh, so sweet. So sweet. But nah, it's a fun game. It's like it's a game that I enjoy because you're playing against other people. But again, a few youngins out there, you can do it with family, right? What we're talking about. You don't have to do it for the monies. You're drawing a torso and keep saying now the nut. Yeah, yeah, no, they don't coincide with the anatomy, or really the type of anatomy that I'm doing right now. Okay, let's see your poker face when you have a good hand. You know what it has helped me with though, in sitting with awkward, right? I don't know about any of you, but I hate like awkward situations, whether it be difficult conversations or negotiations of some kind, like anything like that. It really trains that muscle for you to sit and just be okay with like a big old bunch of uncertainty and just sit in it. It really trains that muscle. I think it's a I'm not promoting gambling, okay? I like poker, the game. All right, I know it's just be smart out there. All right, this is just my experience, but it has actually helped a lot with just sitting in the awkward, because my initial gut reaction is just to run away. I hate awkward shit, but it's like it comes back as like a learning of like, yeah, just sit in it. You've got to, sometimes you're sitting there, know your limits, stay within it. Boom. Thumb guns. Love it. No, Lana, no. No. Let's see your poker face when you have a good hand. All right, now this is the next one when I have a terrible hand and I'm bluffing. Boom. How's that? You don't know what's coming. Okay, anyway, the twist. So here, understand a little bit of the pecs. Now this arm is like back here, right? Oh, he's got a tell. Oh, I've got a tell. Tell me my tell, Lana. Tell me my tell. Can't tell the difference. That's what I'm saying, Sharon. You don't know what's happening. Now we know. Okay, Gemma. All right. I'll be waiting at the booth. Ben has practiced his poker face for when he's reading questions like, what brush do you use? True. But also, I'm not opposed to questions like that, because I probably had questions like that back in the day. I don't think it's helpful to get all like shitty when people get all like upset. It's like, oh, what brush do you use? Yeah, it's kind of a meme at this point. But also, people don't know what they don't know. They might think that it has a lot to do with the brush. How are they meant to know? Particularly if they're new, right? So you got to give people a bit of leeway, you know. You don't have to bloody rip their head off just because they asked a question that I might, because I know that the brush doesn't have much to do with it. There's no reason why you have to be mean. Be kind. See the whole moral of everything. Be kind. or I'll take your money. Now let's see your face of when you're running away from a kangaroo. Nah, I can't. I couldn't keep a straight face with that. Kangaroos are dangerous, man. It's possible to paint without using or downloading other custom brushes because I have no idea in studio providing custom brushes in technical test interviews. Yeah, exactly. Very good point. Exceptionally good point. Right? Probably not a helpful way to evangelize. But yeah, not the best. See, did you see that? It's like I didn't even see it. You just skip over. So we're going to put this hand in the background, right? But this now looks like it's in the foreground. So we've got to do some thinking. How can we make this feel like it's going back in space? All right, probably not like that. Looks a bit weird. That's okay. Think about the cylinders across the body. Notice how because here the hand might get lost, right? So I would like to break the silhouette just a little bit. Maybe like hand here or something. I don't know. Or we just like knock this hand out completely and just have it like all the way in the back. Like really, really, get out of here. Really, really foreshortened. Nah. We'll figure it out. We're still in sketch mode. Right, so I wanted to use this one for like more so the twist. And then figure out this here. Leg, foot. Now to make this, we could even make it look like the opposite. So this is going this way. This is going this. So here facing this way, facing this way. Could we make the head face this way to really like do opposites, you know? Ben, one thing I've noticed as an OG live streamer is that you're much more willing to let the drawing happen rather than forcing it. It's a very helpful attitude that's helped me legend. Nah, it's when I first started, I was like, everything has to look good. And it was almost like pre-planned. Nah, it doesn't. It stiffens me up with everything, which isn't fun. And a part of this for me as well is just having fun each week. Coming down. Walk across to my office and just have a bit of fun, you know? Because this is how it is. Like, I don't profess to make bangers like it's nothing. I still struggle with going live. I get very distracted. Well, with the conversations today, you can tell that I do as well. Right? I get super, super distracted. But that's part, that's where I want to take the streams more so as like fun. Yeah, there's like educational elements to that. And there might be streams that are just purely like tutorial kind of things, but I also just think there's something to just having a bit of fun. This head's way too big. Now it's way too small. What happened there? Let's get it right in the middle. That'll do. Jabatoons, do you sketch traditionally at all? Or paint? Yes. Yes, I do. Yeah, like a poll. Let's do a poll. A poll of what, though? That's the thing. Getting distracted and going on tangents in a sketchbook or something is so fun. Isn't that what we did as kids? You scribble like stuff on napkins or script. Yeah, I enjoy that. You have to think of a good poll. Good poll, good poll, good poll. I can't think of a poll right now. My anatomy is suffering. Now, I'd also have to keep things in frame for the people playing in Instagram. North of our Rome. I was thinking that. I was like, no, I'll keep it to myself. I'm glad you said it. All right, now we need some refinement. I think maybe this arm should actually be coming more towards us, like in the reference. So this is where we can just have fun and figure it out. Or we could try even more. Foreshortened, potentially. It looks kind of weird though. There's something about it that she looks a little bit too casual. Maybe her facial expression, that's a little bit of a part of it. Vivid Fox. Long Easter day for me, so I'll be going to bed soon. Glad I made it in time though. Hope you had a great day. On next live stream, try and do the left hand. Thun Guns, you're a legend. Actually, I'm actually going to 2-minute break. I'm going to get some water with some coffee mixed into it, all right? I'll be back. Ooh. And we back. Americano. That's one thing that I found in America. You guys don't have a long black. Didn't know that. So I was too scared to chat the first time. Sugar beets. I never type on here. Sugar beets. Yeah, we got a good group of people in here. I enjoy it. Yeah, you cheeky buggers, you do get me on tangents. That's for sure. Gemma Toons, what the hell is a long black? It's just straight coffee. I don't know what you guys call it. I got off the plane. First thing, went to what is it? Coffee bean. I think that's what it's called. Coffee bean and something and tea something. I was like, does a long black mean anything to you? I'm like, no. I'm like, all right. I just want just coffee in hot water. I try to branch out to other art live streams, but you guys and Ben, that's kind. Oh, speaking of other live streams, you guys familiar with KSM? Let me pull up KSM. He's challenged me to something. An art challenge of sorts. This gentleman here. So stay tuned for something. That's what I want to start doing as well. Getting more people in on the streaming action. I've honestly been going back and watching some of Ben's older lives again as I pick up something new every time, especially as he had a bit more time and they were like, hey, yeah, that's true. I was doing marathons back in the day. Call it coffee, black. All right. Yeah, I just started to explain myself every time I asked for a coffee. I was like, oh, can I just have a coffee just by itself? Just a coffee, like a medium one. No sugar, no nothing, just a coffee. Oh, fuck. Thumb gun, you got me, you cheeky bugger. Oh. Oh, and down under the coffee shops have Australianos. At the face of it, that's not that funny, but for some reason it tickled me. Well done. Good job. Seems like we keep it chill here. It's nice. Maybe want to sketch. I'm glad to hear it, Joe. Yeah, I would do 8 hours like it's nothing. Ben's lives and glory. Oh, bloody glory. I tell you what. Poor love. Hope she's doing all right. There's a local. Anyway, let's get back to it. All right. Honestly, as an American born, this place sucks. I know you don't even have long blacks. I don't know how you do it. All right, let's refine this little lady, shall we? It's looking a little stiff. Now, this is getting it to not look stiff is a process of iteration. Okay. Maybe she's running from something as well. Maybe she's... I always... Do we want to do like a dinosaur in the back, like chasing after her? Like, boom, boom, boom. I don't know, maybe. I think I've already done one like that, actually. Yeah. Yep. I've got to go back to my old streams and finish some of them off, I reckon. Oh, also on the coding front, been smashing that out. We've implemented a whole bunch of stuff. Going to be sharing, I think tonight I'm going to be sharing a new little update drop on my stories as to how that's been going. Figured out, is anyone here familiar with Spline? Spline is a cool little 3D tool. And now you can embed splines into the Drea editor, which is going to be sick. And I've already been playing around with it. Point Dexter Ben, hope you're having a good day. Was wondering if you have any advice for practicing drawing different body types for the first time. Thanks, always appreciate the streams. Appreciate your Point Dexter. Yes. Focus on the bones. Just say coffee. All right, I will next time. Or I do matcha. I had my first real matcha. Actually at Proco. Proco himself actually made me my first real matcha. And oh, what a dream that was. What do you mean you're going to be on? Yeah, I might be. We're going to be doing something. He's challenged me to a something. It's very vague, so we shall see. Maddie Mitchell. Maddie Mitchell, bloody stoked to have you here, my friend. Proco made you a matcha latte. Not today. No. It was a good few months ago. But yeah, I never had a proper one. I tried it and it's like if like a tea leaf like rolled around in dirt and then you squeeze that into water. That's what I had. But he made me a real one. Did Proco use a bamboo whisk for the matcha? I can't remember. I don't think so. All right, we got to think about the foreshortening here, right? Foreshortening. So let's scooch the hand back a little bit here. All right. Oh, hello. Where's my? Okay, we're back. Because that's going to be going back. But now it looks like she's got a little baby arm. See, it's iteration. It's iteration. We got to find our... Oh, sorry. Different. Ben, are you going to be at Lightbox this year? You better believe it. And the only reason is to have that heads up match with you. Little Missy. You've started something. I'm going to be waiting. And thank you very much for the safe travel comment. But yeah, that's the matcha that I made. It was terrible. Stamp broken much. Oh, thumb guns, you got me going today. I like it. What am I doing? Different body types, right? Okay. So let's say if we wanted to chunk her up a bit, right? Put a bit of muscle onto her. Think about the bones, okay? The bones, they don't get bigger. Well, they do as you grow, but typically, regardless of like the body type, the bones are going to stay sound, right? They're going to be structural things. The clavicle is going to be the same spot. The hips are going to be in the same spot. The knees, the elbows, they're good little landmarks as well, right? So what we can do is and this is why I find it very, very useful to study the bones, even though you may think, what's the point? You don't see them. They come in super, super handy. Like very, very handy when you're trying to find things, particularly when you're inventing stuff, right? So we find the elbow here from the clavicle. Okay, and you can simplify it as well. You don't have to do all the little joints and whatever, although that's very helpful. You may have scorched the tea leaves. Green tea is meant to be brewed at temperature just before roaring boil. If it's whistling, I do enjoy a good green tea, but this was matcha. It came as like a powder. I guess it is green tea. It is the tea leaves, right? Still, yeah, I could have messed it up that way. Not vivid. Fair point. But also, I had one at I think it was Starbucks. They had one, and I had it, and then I realized they just put a whole bunch of syrup in it, and it was lovely. But I thought that was what matcha what, but it just made it. You throw syrup in anything, it tastes great. Where was I? Yeah, bones, right? Landmark here. Let's whip a bit of color in here so we can see what we're doing. This is turning educational for me and for you, hopefully. Right, so you've got the collarbones, you've got the rib cage. All right, we can imagine something like that. The ribs always mess me up, right? Because they're kind of here in reality. Well, not reality, because this is a fake stylized character, but we can imagine the rib cage here. But a lot of the times I used to miss this back part because I was just thinking about the bones. This here, you got to think about all the lats, the latissimus. Okay, that's the muscle that's going to fill out that back. All right, because if you only saw the rib cage, you'd be like, whoa, something's wrong. All right. No derailing. I'm doing my own derailing. Don't you worry about it, Vivid. I'd prefer I'd prefer chatting in chat than it being completely silent, you know? So don't stress. All right, so here's another good landmark where the ribs are. Another great bony landmark, the head. Okay, so we've got this. Let's knock it back. And let's take her to the gym for a good, I don't know, a good couple of months. Focusing on hypertrophy training. Any Dr. Mike Israetel fans here? If not, that's fine. You won't know what I'm talking about. Adam, what's going on? All right, so I kind of want to add a little bit of the beef. You know, things are going to fold a little bit differently. Things are going to sit a little bit different. The deltoids are going to pop a little bit more. Renaissance periodization, Alfie. Bloody legend. I actually signed up to not an ad, but Dr. Mike Israetel, I'm here if you want a sponsorship. But I did get the app, right? There's a lot that I'm not loving about the app, but the exercises and the workouts are very, very good. I like the information that it gives. But yeah, he's all about hypertrophy, right? Is that Mike, the buff guy that sits and stares at you while criticizing your form? Yes. Love it. He's fucking hilarious. But he's very, very knowledgeable as well. So it's all about hypertrophy. So there's different kinds of training for those that aren't sort of super into the gym and whatever. There's like, let's put them into two categories. There's like strength training and there's hypertrophy training, right? So hypertrophy is all about the size of the muscle, trying to get that as big as possible. There's ways to train where that's like the real focus, versus just getting strong, where you might not look super strong, but you can lift a frick ton of weight. All right, we could even add in the lats here. Right, so coming back to the bony landmarks, the iliac crest. So it's about getting yoked. I just learned that phrase. Yes, I don't actually even know if I've ever said that out loud before, because I think it sounds kind of funny in my accent. Getting yoked. Getting shredded. Right, and then we can understand that this bone here is going to be somewhere around here and somewhere back there for the leg, right? Foreshortened, of course. And we can really like beef up the leg here. You know, so it's you're really building the drawing. You're not I want to be yoked. You and me both, Gemma. You and me both, Gemma Tunes. It's a lifelong goal. But you notice how I'm building up the drawing. I'm slapping clay, if you will, on top of it. It's not just a matter of drawing it, at least for the way that I like to do stuff. Again, it's all a matter of preference, okay? It's completely up to you. But how I like to do it is I like to build up my drawings. All right, give us some traps right there. And you know what? Going to like understanding more about training and going to the gym, you can start becoming your own like anatomy reference, because you understand like, all right, where are the insertions happening? You know, like when I'm working a certain muscle, I feel them there because of this hinge joint and blah, 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 blah. Like it's a nice little like supplement in reality. A bit of a stretch for some people, like I know, but I find it helpful. Building muscle is so hard, man. I know. You got to eat. That's one thing that I've learned. Eating is a massive part of it. Massive, massive part of it. Because if you're not fueling your body, then nothing's going to grow. But see how we've given her more of like a muscular physique? And we could beef that up as much as we want, right? And the calf, just like bam, bam. It does look more like a little stroll in the park rather than a run, but I mean, I'm not too concerned about that. That's fine. We're just studying at the moment. Now here, these little things, right? Like the hair. This is what I'm talking about, where we can create opportunities for 3D stuff, right? Our thinking in 3D. The bun is a great one, right? Why is the bun here? Well, it's because it's behind the head, right? You got the first bit of hair that's going to set the hairline, and then you got the bun in the background, and that's an opportunity to show overlap, right? Looking for those little opportunities helps us out a lot. Now she's kind of smiling there. Let's see if we can get a more interesting. It looks like she's power walking very angrily, which wasn't entirely the goal, but you know what? It is what it is. Drawing New York, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. What's your favorite art style right now? Movies? Don't say Snow White, for the love of God. No. Lana, go for it. Actually, I did see, let me show you this. There was this gentleman that I was watching that I hadn't seen before, and he was going over different art, or he was like analyzing this artist, this painter. And it just, this is the thing that I'm talking about, looking for the things that get you going. This one got me going. So, uno momento. History. Let's have a look here. Yeah. It was E. Martin Hennings. Does that mean anything to anyone? Because it didn't to me until I started to look. Right, not so much of this. There was one of them that was just like, bam. Yeah, this one. That kind of thing. How bloody cool is that? So we could do a poll on, is reference cheating? Yes or no? I'd be interested. Right, so this is E. Martin Hennings. This is very, very nice. It's very designed. Real, like, super nice, like, contrast between the lights and the shadows. There's something about it that I just love. Like, this little, for fear of sounding wanky, this little moment in here is lovely. Right? It's these little things, you know? Finding artists, like, I love the atmosphere in this one, right? And you can pick and choose different things that you like about the artist, right? I don't necessarily like the figures so much. I'm really drawn to the color, right? This one's super subtle, crazy subtle, right? And then you got some of his landscapes. I really like this one because it's kind of the opposite of what you see a lot of the time. This is E. Martin Hennings. Yeah, E. Martin Hennings. But this, how people say like this is like the darker in the foreground and lighter in the background, but you've kind of got like a sandwich here. If you squint your eyes, you kind of got lightest right in the middle of the landscape. Then you've got a little bit slightly darker in the background values wise. It's like just a touch, like it's like a hair darker, and then you've got the darkest in the foreground. It's just like a really cool kind of thing. So yeah, this is someone that I'm going to be studying from as well. But that kind of stuff, you know. And this is like, yeah, how do you feel? How do you deal with down days? What gets you going again? This sort of stuff, you know. Looking at what's possible. People doing things in different ways, you know, like it's almost like realistic but trippy, yeah. And then how do you translate that onto like some character stuff? You know, could you fold that into your own style? Definitely. At a certain point, it's really an arrangement of pigments on a canvas. So it is then figuring out what arrangement that is, the decisions that they've made, and then can that work with what you're doing? This is looking stupid. No worries, Poindexter. All right, let's do the poll. All right. How do I do the poll? How do I start a poll? Is reference, there you go, is reference shitang? Yes. Yes. You're, oh god, yeah, you're a terrible person. No. All right. Poll on. Let's see. This is definitive as well. You're leading the voters. Unknown drawer, welcome, welcome, welcome. I've done a 5 value. God damn it! I've done a 5 value grayscale study of that E. Martin painting. It was very difficult. Yeah, I can imagine. See, now I'm changing the vibe of it all. Just looking behind. Right, so we're going to see more of the year. Okay. Right, and then again we can utilize that little bun just as even a placeholder. Doesn't have to be there. You don't have to always draw characters with buns. But now we've got a little bit more dynamism, to use another fancy schmancy word. 88%. Who's the other? Who's the 12%? I want to know. Mine at the moment is Amanda Dugon. Dugon? Saved her work years ago, and one day it popped up in my feed, and I'm obsessed. It's cute, sweet, and funny. So yes, go back to old saves. 1,000%. I think the Asari head is considered a reference, right? It's a silly idea that it's cheating. How else you see? Exactly. You just think about it for a moment. And then the argument that it is just falls apart. So where are we at? How do I see the poll? You 12%, you cheeky buggers. R2 drawing, none at the moment. Sorry. Alright, we'll just keep it going, I guess, until the end of the stream. Something to finish off with. Alright, so with this, we are making sure that that head direction, we're kind of looking a little bit on top of the head, right? Yeah, I really want to know what that 12% of drawing. Because I mean, this isn't, I'm not using reference right now. Or am I? It's all up here. Richard Smith is a bit more chaotic, but I think you would like to... Oh, yeah. Richard Smith. I do. I do. Good call. All right, little flyaway hairs. Nothing wrong with that. But no shade either. This is, I don't want to skew the results. You are appreciated here equally, whatever your thoughts are, even if they're wrong. I'm joking. Alright, so we've got the foot here. Maybe this leg comes back further and we kind of see a little bit of the foreshortened foot. Maybe. Lana, yeah, Lana. This is giving Frank Frazetta art vibe. Yeah, it kind of is, right? I can see that. We just need like a panther in here somewhere. Talk, man, I just bought the filthy thing and it's not auto-filling. How to fix? Have you got it on fill? Make sure you got it, you click fill. And then you use the lasso. Do you like Vladimir Motza? I don't know who that is. I might do. Vlad. Foul, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. A tiger, yep. We need a tiger in here somewhere. Like this. That foot's looking a little wonky. See, because we've kind of changed the whole positioning. See, this is where you, like, if I was going to use this reference and really like make something out of it, I would change this angle of the foot, because you kind of lose the silhouette. It kind of just goes into nothingness, even if it's like technically correct with the reference. Can you explain about color? Yeah, go back into last week's stream. I talk a little bit about color because it was more color focused. Yep, on feel, no luck. What layer? Are you on a separate layer? Oh no, I'm asking like stupid questions right now, so I don't want to offend your intelligence. But you on a separate layer? What's it doing? Like when you say it's not filling, is anything happening? I might actually see from where we started, change the whole game, and now I've lost my layers. Oh, here we are, and we're back. Ben, any recommendations for restaurants or activities in your city? I'm landing next week. You're coming to Adelaide next week? Poor, I don't do much, so I don't know. God. Cleveland Wildlife Park. There you go. Highly recommend. Top brand new layer. You're not on the background layer? That shouldn't matter either. If it's not too much of a pain in the ass, could you send me a video of you attempting it? Because it will give me a clearer idea of what might be going on. P Chemicalc, welcome on Twitch. Also, yeah, heads up as well. I'm on Twitch as well. For those that don't know, I'm branching out. Catch you later, David. All it's doing is changing the color in the color section, but not adding color to the selection. Weird. Yeah, if you could show me a video of it, I might be able to help you out. I can't remember if I said hello, Dharmic, but hello, Dharmic. Great to have you. All right, I'm going to knock this right the way back. And let's see if we can get a cleaner exploratory thing going on. Catch you later, Prashan. You have a good night. Hi, I'm having trouble loading Adobe Project Neo on my browsers. Can you try it on your end for a second? I don't know what you're talking about, my friend. I'm sorry. PC or chemical? I probably won't remember that, so forgive me, but appreciate you letting me know. First time viewer, your art looks nice. Thank you very much. Thanks for popping in. Okay. Let's we need some resolution. So I think Oh, not amazing, but it'll do. Let's see if we can do as minimal amount of lines as we can. Shubham Draws, how you doing? See, there's a real fine line here with the eyes. Quite literally and figuratively. Yeah, no, not a fan. Not a fan. Because we've got to think, this is where understanding a bit about the skull comes in. We kind of, well, we're kind of looking on top, right? So we're going to see a little bit more of the top of the skull. So we've got to figure out how the eyes are going to be positioned. We'll be seeing more of the top of the eyes. Better. See how that fits in a little bit more? And it's literally like millimeters difference. Yeah, this has got a lot of tweaking to do if we're gonna take this further, right? But we're just gonna explore, see what we can do. Now I really want to think we're looking on top, right? So the jaw might have a bit more of that curve to it because she's kind of looking down over her shoulder. So you're going to see more of that jaw sort of a little bit more like that. If that makes any sense to you whatsoever. The face is one of the few places in drawing figures that if it looks off for a few millimeters, everyone can tell it's unforgiving. It certainly is. But it's where everyone likes to start, which is interesting. Daniel Pace, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. Hello from Malta. Okay, so the deltoid, boom, boom, right there. And it's a good little practice just to clean up some of your sketches every now and then, if you're not used to doing it as much. I'd have a bit of the tricep because we did beef her up quite a bit. Does Proco have a big office? Yeah. Like you got multiple rooms, bunch of like a whole main area where like all the editors and different offices are. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Very inspiring. Excuse me. Cosmic Butler. Cool name. I like it. Is it okay to only draw 3/4 angles? Depends what you want to do, right? Like, what's your goals? Do you want to get better at drawing different angles? Then I would say it wouldn't be ideal. But if you enjoy drawing 3/4 and you're not concerned about branching out, it's completely fine. For me, I really want to push myself. For studying anatomy, for instance, well, that, again, it comes back to your goals. You could study anatomy and just really focus on the 3/4 and nail that. And then once that becomes second nature, then you can start exploring and doing bits and pieces, you know. Ben, when did you start drawing? Did you ever have a big gap? I started drawing when I was really young. I always had it as something that I would do as a hobby. Big gap, I would say, yeah, probably like most of my 20s. Because I was focused on building a startup. Didn't have much in the way of time. So yeah, there was quite a big gap. And I was doing more realistic stuff as well. So none of the more stylized stuff you see me doing. Video on my channel with the issue. Thanks for the help. Yeah, throw that in the Discord so I don't miss it. There is a section for the Filthy plugin. Talk, man. When I first started taking art seriously, I'd only do portraits and I'd work on them for like a week. Yeah, I mean, there is that. There's a bunch of different ways you can go about doing it. I always like to think about what's the goal? What do I want to get out of this? At the macro and the micro layer. At the macro and the micro scale. What am I trying to get out of this in particular? Like, say, for example, I'm trying to understand and invent anatomy, right? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to learn how to beef up a reference, right? Like different body shapes and manipulate a piece of reference. That's what I'm trying to get out of this. Why am I doing this? Because I don't want to be beholden to the reference ever. So there's the larger goal and the short term right now kind of goal. The Art of DHT, welcome back. Joe, actually speaking of realistic, I'm curious, do you ever explore different styles for fun? Yeah. Yeah, like I'll do more of this really, really simplified who could I say, like the more like TB Choi-esque kind of really simplified styles. I'll try and cross different styles like a Lion Decker-esque with different stuff. I like mixing and matching things. Mind you, I haven't had much time as of late to do much of that exploratory kind of stuff, but yeah, no, it's good fun for me trying different styles. What got you into Stylized? I was getting sick of doing realistic stuff. And it fascinated me how people could just create characters from nothing, what seemingly nothing, right? It was just like just a big curiosity for me. And little did I know, me trying to figure that out would lead to a whole different career thing. But that's really, yeah, where it started. Just the interest in figuring out how and why. And that's why I mentioned a lot of the time is getting yourself out of a slump, trying something different, looking at other artists and see how they do things can really, really be beneficial. That reminds me, I fell out of love for drawing side profiles as soon as I discovered the 7/8 profile view. You can get the eyelash on the other side and more details on those. I know exactly what you're talking about, Vivid. Yep. I don't even think about it in that mathematical term, personally. I just think, do I want to turn the head a little bit more? I don't know if it's 7/8 or whatever. But it's like here, probably in reality, you wouldn't see that eyelash there, right? If we were to really, really analyze the structure of the head here, maybe we'd actually see more of the top of the nose, maybe. Right, and if we follow that down, we might not even see much of the mouth. Right, but sometimes I just cheat it. Yeah, I want to see a little bit of that eyelash. I don't know. Focus on goals and weaknesses that would hinder your goals. Ben, do you find it easier / more intuitive to caricature vehicles, buildings, or people? I think about them all very similarly, personally. Because they all start off as very simplified shapes, right? Now we can give her a bit of personality here. Like she can maybe have like a little bit of a weaker, not a weaker chin, but just like that little bit of an overbite maybe. I don't know what I'm... This could change so much over the course of a session. But yeah, if I'm drawing a car, or like if, like say I was going to do like a car here, you could like stylize the living frick out of it pretty quickly just by just stretching and changing the shapes. You know, same thing here. I could stretch and squash the head. I could, like even with the deltoid here, I could really like poof, 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 pump that out. I could really get the forearms like massive. You know, that's why I like always talk about like the simple shapes, because that's where it all starts. It's all in the simple shapes. And then you can have a little bit of wonkiness in like how the headlights are they kind of scoop up a little bit, or what, you know, like you could do anything. And it all like for me, it all translates. Drawing a car, building, person, very, very similar. It's just the pieces that you use. Like, I know that the wheels here, if we're going to have them straight on, they've got to be kind of cylinders, right? Going back in space in a particular way. I know that the elbow here is a joint, right? That's going to be going back in space in a particular way. It's just how you connect the properties, let's say, of each subject matter. Just changes a little bit, and a lot. Like, it changes a lot depending on what you're drawing, but the principles can still remain the same. If that makes any sense at all, I hope it does. Would you ever sell prints? I have sold prints in the past. But yeah, I definitely would, and I have. It really helps my brain when I think of it like that. Really, it just means don't make it flat. Tilting it slightly looks better. Yes, true. Even like tilting this head down. Let's do... I can't help myself. I'm going to draw a skull, okay? Let's think about this. We could have just drawn the head like a profile view. You know what I mean? But it kind of looks a little bit unnatural, particularly on this head. On the way that the body is, and you'll notice like people like Kim Jong-gi and that kind of thing, they'll do like slightly off angles, you know. It's never just like bang on straight. Even if it's straight, it's just like off just a little bit, you know. So if we were to look at this, I'll do two versions. We'll do the simplified shape version. All right, kind of, it's not even that extreme. Maybe a little bit less of a head tilt. All right, get that center line. All right. And then we come here, move the little car out the way. Thank you. What's new with Plain Jane? Or can I zoom out of it? Yep, I certainly can. She's just chilling at the moment. I've had to put them on pause as I'm building this course platform, because they just take a lot of time to make. Like, I can maybe plus the packaging as well, so it does, it's a lot of energy to get a Plain Jane out into the world. But I've got big plans. I've got big plans. All right, so we start here a little bit with the head tilt. It's probably even more tilted if I'm honest. So the center line's even more off this way. We can imagine the eye sockets, the nose hole. Ben looking at eyebrows are like I'm big and chunky. Profile view still requires a lot of perspective. 1000% thumb guns. There's just a lot of foreshortening that's not immediately apparent. True, true, true. Well, now it looks like she's outrunning a car. I'm dumb. I realized I was on intersect with selection, not the new selection. Boom. Fantastic. Oh, I'm glad. I thought it was going to be something like that, but I just wanted to double check. Good call. Good call. Mimi, the animation industry is going... Jackie Drishko did a video on that, actually, of where the animation industry is at the moment. Really good video. Alex, appreciate it. Right, so let's draw the skull in that. Only seeing just a peek, just a smidge of that other side of the skull. That's going to really cut in. See, I really love drawing skulls, because it's just another opportunity to get an understanding of stuff. Right, because we're looking on top, that tooth cylinder is going to be rounded, you know. That jaw is going to be rounded up. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so then we've got the simplified shape where you don't have to know all the scully bits. But even here, you're going to see the top of that nose. It's going to, we're not looking, it's like a little pyramid. Speaking of, you seen what they found under the pyramids? I don't even know if that's true or not, but it's cool to think about. All right, so you're going to be looking at the top. Imagine it's like here, top of the nose. Ray, what's going on, my friend? I did have a good weekend. I did. Hope you've... Technically, it's still a weekend. We've got a... Monday is a public holiday here. I feel like this is helping my perspective right now. Loving this. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, I'm glad. Knockout Teddy. Hey, friend, I just started my art career. Is there any suggestions for my career growth? One thing you got to know about me is... catch you later, Gemma Tunes. Hopefully catch you in the next one. You have a good night. I kind of came into this industry through like a weird way. Like the back door, kind of. That's how I feel. It was really all through social media stuff. And through that, I've got gigs for studios and whatnot. But yeah, I did not go the traditional route of applying for jobs or anything like that. So I don't know if I'm one to talk on like the traditional routes of getting into the quote unquote industry. What I would recommend personally, I'm probably biased because it's what's worked for me, but it is like growing your presence on social media if that's something that you're interested in doing. I know it's not for everyone, but getting your work out there. Christian, I'm still doing it, my friend. I'm going to be heading off soon though. I've got to figure out how to plug in Discord. I've done it once, but that'd be good to plug you into Discord, Christian, one of these days. Do you ever check your Discord beyond a post? I do. I'll pop in there every now and then. Not as much as I should, but that's going to be changing very soon. Yeah, I reckon it'd be cool just to have like conversations and whatever, just chatting instead of just listening to my... I get sick of hearing my own voice, I tell you what. But here, this is like a little demonstration of just that tiny shift in perspective of the head can make a big difference And it just changes it up a little bit. Instead of doing the front 3/4 side view, what about a down 3/4, you know? A draw off with Christian, that could be fun. Do the same reference. The nose part in the skull, Ben was no. We should do it like we both use the left hand or something. The nose part in the skull really tripping me out. I'm not used to make just a hole in the face. You got any tips to understand it? Simple shapes, my friend. Simple shapes. Right? Oh, finding the symmetry in it as well. So this is what, like, I'm going to sound like a broken record, and I don't care, right? Even when you're practicing your cubes and stuff, the next level, or just not even next level, like another way of doing that kind of stuff is cutting in to things. What does that look like? Okay, so I want to cut a hole into this cube. All right, so I've got to make that there. Then there'll be a line going back there to give that illusion of the cut-inness. All right, maybe now I want to do the triangle cut in, okay, on a flat surface. All right, so then that triangle is going to cut in within that cube. Okay, now how would I do that on a skull? So then we can look at the positive shape that it might create. Imagine we didn't actually cut the hole in, but it's just completely filled in, like this is like a part of the geometry. Okay, we've got to this level. Now we got to think, all right, we got that nice little center line of the nose line inside the skull. I don't even know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying there. That's a nice little indicator of that center line. And then we got to find this corner or this edge on the other side where that would be. So that'll actually be right back there. And then we can join the dots, get rid of that part, and then we're left with this like empty space. And that's just a product of understanding where this point is, this point is, this point is at the back, and this point at the top is. If that makes any sense at all. Hapala! Hello, I'm first time in your live. I've only watched your videos. Great to have you, Hapala. Could you tell me about your course on Gumroad? It's just coming about that time as well. Thank you so much. Shinobixty. Plug time as we're drawing the skull. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, this stylized stuff, I want to dive a little bit deeper. I've got an 8-hour, 10-chapter walkthrough tutorial available right now. With the links, as always, are in the description. It takes you through me drawing the character that you see. I walk through all the parts. You also get a 40+ page PDF, because personally I like to learn through reading as well, instead of just through videos only. And having a bit of context that's written down is like a good little reference, let's say. I also get some 3D models with it as well that I've sculpted up. And yeah, links in the description. Can't wait to see this mini lesson be turned into a short. Yeah, Michael Hampton. Interestingly enough, oh, hold on, I like the Australian voice. It's very soothing, like I'm in the wild outback. Oh God, I was very concerned about that actually. I thought it would be annoying because it can be kind of like jarring. I remember a guy at my local art supply store who got hired for Mortal Kombat for posting his work on social media. Exactly, yeah. I think that's very, very important personally. Now you can take whatever route that you want to do, but it's helped me, right? And I can only talk from my own experience. Yeah, I've been actually working with Michael. It's actually Steve Hampton is his actual name. Getting his website up to scratch, so he's going to be doing some stuff on there, which is cool. So I've been having catch-ups with him and doing some. Francis and I have been chatting with him, which is fantastic. So he's going to be having some cool stuff releasing soon as well. But nah, Steve Hampton stuff for like anatomy and everything and simplification of forms. Oh, phenomenal. Cutting into simple shapes is also a great way to make sci-fi objects. Make a cube and start making hexagonal patterns in it. Works every time. Boom. Love it. That means it's over. Not quite yet. I'm still here. Knockout Teddy. Yeah, all my links are in the description. Why would your accent be annoying? I don't know. I mean, as I said, I get sick of hearing my own voice, so I'll be like, ugh. That's probably a very biased thing. Right, so we've got a little bit of a progression of understanding, and it goes back this way as well. Ben thinks I have a thick Cockney British accent for some reason. I can't remember your accent, if I'm honest, because we had the mask going on, so it was a bit tricky to hear. I guess I would have remembered a thick Cockney accent. Is there a difference between the walkthrough course and the Proco course, and if so, how? Yes, if you the Proco one does have an extra 2-hour excerpt on thanks Mel, appreciate you popping in, I'll catch you soon, about a head turnaround, right? So how I do like a little head turnaround from the same character that's in the walkthrough. So if you want a little bit extra, good call, Ray, thank you for reminding me, check out Proco. And you can grab it from there. Proco.com. Oh, Vivid, you're too kind. Oh, you've heard that from other Australians as well. Yeah, seems very self-conscious about their accent. Yeah, it's very nasally. Like, oh man, let's do some anatomy. Hey. Do you have any tips on how to get out of imposter syndrome? I might have a spicy take here. Sometimes, and I'm just talking for myself, imposter syndrome could actually be telling you where you need to improve. It's not always bad necessarily. If I'm, for example, trying to teach anatomy and I'm not hitting the right lines, I'm not getting the form correct, it's just not looking quite right, I could have a sense of like imposter syndrome. That's kind of valid potentially. So it could be an indication of, all right, I need to up your game. Or it is just that feeling of like, oh, someone's going to call me out, you know? Someone's going to come out of the woodwork and say, you don't know what you're talking about. Why are you doing content? That's the unhelpful kind. So I think two things can be true. That the imposter syndrome could also be a helpful tool to recognize where some of your weaknesses are. But getting over imposter syndrome, yeah. Knowing something like the back of your hand to the point where if that quote unquote, that imaginary person is going to come out of the woodworks and say, hey, you don't know what you're talking about, I could come back at them and said, well, okay, well, explain to me, bing, bang, boom, this, and that about the thing that I'm talking about. You can once you can hold your own, then that kind of feeling goes away, if that makes sense at all. Hopefully it does. Ben, can I know why you draw the full skull? Of course you can. Great question. Because it's fun. 1. 2, it helps me understand where to fit things, right? I know that the eye sockets here hold the eyeball. I know that this part of the nose now, the nose bridge, can actually hold the rest of the nose. And you can build on top of it. It's fantastic foundations for understanding form. Why are things happening? Even with stylized stuff. And people that are friends of the stream, you already know this. Any people that are familiar with my stuff know that I really value understanding things a little bit deeper than just like the face value. Boom. Pun fully intended. Do you have any tips on drawing the mouth, especially when stylizing? My mouth drawing always looks out of place. Yeah, I would look at the artists that you find particularly, like the ones that get you going, right? The people that you like and you follow, and understand the reasons why they're doing the things that they're doing, or try and break it down. You're never going to know exactly why if you can't talk to them, right? But a lot of it has to do with getting to the essence of the simple shapes in 3D space. That's probably going to be the main reason why your mouth is looking off, because it's not sat on the structure of the skull correctly. Right? Like here, these kinds of drawings. Understanding that the mouth would sit probably around here, you know, like a closed mouth kind of thing. Without seeing your work, my hunch would be that you need to work just a touch more on the three-dimensional understanding of stuff. It's always tricky given my 2 cents on stuff that I haven't seen, but that would be my gut feeling, my hunch. I think if I was like, blimey, gonna wick it up, mate, it would have been a memorable thing. I watched all of Red Dwarf without subtitles, so I'm basically an old cockney myself. Very cool. It's in the most white American accent possible. Love it. Let the conviction of what you don't know encourage you to learn in those areas. Don't let it make you think you suck as an artist. True. Use it as a tool. Because at the same time, no one cares about your feelings in a way. That sounds harsh, but it's like harness the insecurity and turn it into something that pushes you towards a thing to get better at the thing that is making you feel that way. Very good point, Talk Man. Intercorp, do you rate drawings? I'm a beginner. No, I don't rate them. I might do critiques eventually. I appreciate you popping in though. All right, I think, look, we've gone for quite a while. Oh, I do just want to... I'm kind of in the groove at the moment. Because this is, honestly, this is the only time that I'm actually able, well, I have been able to draw for like a real solid amount of time. Which is sad. But also good because I'm working on stuff, which is cool. But what is this here? Hello? Oh, it's that. Okay. Ah. Catch you later, Lana. $111 votes, 93%. Here we are. Look at that. So it's definitive. Use reference. Gal, how you doing? Hope you've been well. So is reference cheating? The 7%, I'd love to have a chat with them to hear their reasoning, not to disparage, because we have differing opinions. But I'm definitely in the no category. So there you go. Don't stress about it. Use reference. All right. I'm going to end the poll there. 112 votes. End poll. It's definitive for the rest of time. Nice one. Ben, have you been working out your psoas? Oh, that I believe, if I'm not mistaken. See, I know like weird obscure shit like that because it's to do with like flexibility and whatever. So if you were to look at your pelvis. Thanks for the stream, Ben. Even though I forgot that they're saved now, I feel like I've chatted to... No, you're fine. You're fine, Lana. Thanks for popping in. It's always a pleasure. The psoas is the one that... So if this is the pelvis, right? Terrible pelvis, but you get the idea. Right? You got your little greater trochanters. You got the little hole there for all your stuff. Right? The psoas is the one that like wraps in around here, right? So you got the spine. It's like this one, isn't it? Like this muscle that's like real deep in. Speaking of imposter syndrome, one of my favorite artists banned... Oh, hold on. One of my favorite artists banned from his Twitch streams from saying drawing folds isn't without showing my work to back that statement. Hold on. It got me really down lately. I'll say this again. Speaking of imposter syndrome, one of my favorite artists banned from his Twitch streams for saying drawing folds. Oh, sorry. Drawing folds isn't hard without showing my work to back that statement. It got me really... I'm not quite sure. I might be just spacing out with my... could you rephrase that? For whatever reason, it's just not clicking for me. Ben, I work as a brand designer right now. Nice one. Yeah, I was in UI, UX, brand design, all that sort of stuff back in the day as well. In designs, the color psychology is different, and the art design color psychology is different. I don't know. I think it's very similar. You have the contrasting colors. You have the colors that work well together. The complementary, some like to call it. Vivid Fox, I need to leave as well. Thanks for your wisdom tonight. Your voice is like the Australian Bob Ross. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Vivid, thanks for popping in. I'll catch you in the next one. The artist banned you from his Twitch for saying drawing food isn't hard. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a bit harsh. Like, everyone has their opinions. Like, can you appeal the band? Appeal the band. Appeal the band? I mean, as long as you weren't being disrespectful with it, who cares? I don't know. I don't have any context, so. So Knockout Teddy, yeah, the color theory with like graphic design and all that sort of stuff can really fold in similarly to or with this kind of stuff as well. Yeah, color psychology doesn't change from media to media, correct. Oof, I could noodle on this for hours. Now, he said right after he doesn't give a... And I meant to say fabric folds and wrinkles. So he didn't ban you, but he did ban you. The only thing I'll ban is just like disrespect. To, like, not even me, just like just being a dickhead. That's it. Really, that's the only bannable offense. Hi, I'm having such a hard time to follow lives because the hour. Yeah, I know the time zone difference. I might do some evening streams here, which could help. Oh my god, not this freaking... Oh, give me a heart attack. I hate this doorbell. Oh my god. Alright, with that, I reckon that's a good place to end it. Oh, now the dog's going to go nuts. Alright. I do want to fix this arm though. If we would imagine this going back in space down here. This is probably where I would maybe even try this pose myself, because I've changed it quite a lot. She looks a bit too casual, if I'm being super honest. Way too casual for what I was originally going for. Steven! What's going on, dude? Great to have you. Haven't chatted to you in ages. You've made me very self-conscious about saying duplicate. But I think about that every time that I say it now. Thank you very much. Hope you've been doing well. A professor of mine always said that the issue is always with the values and not colour. Not always, but a lot of the time. I'd tend to agree. I'll have to see you all earlier, maybe in Discord, 1000%. This is a professional right in here, my friends. Peppermint Gentleman, Stephen, the professional. Certainly is. Links in the description. I like how late this stream is for me. I can work while having a calm voice talk, yes. Unless you get me going. Like earlier. Or isn't it in the description? It should be. Definitely should be. Definitely should be. How do I? No. No. Here. Here. Oh, it expires in 7 days? Never. Boom. Alright, there we go. Well, that sucks. Okay, it is. It is all good. Okay. Legend. Professional. I love it. Dude, I can't wait to get back to the US. Cafe. How you doing? You're late. Oh, that's all right. We are about to wrap up. But I appreciate you popping in regardless. I was just on this hand. I was saying something. I can't remember. That's okay. Do you do a decent amount of anatomy study along with regular drawing, or does it come naturally after doing so many poses? I find it hard to do perspective work with anatomy. You can combine the two, my friend. Ethan, that's the fun part. So just like I'm doing here, right? Or you could do it with the arms or whatever you want. You could break this down into perspective. All of this is perspective. The reason why we don't see the eye back here, perspective. The reason why the ear is in this particular angle, perspective. Right? We could think of this as a... I was wrapping it up, but you got me on a tangent. Well done. This could be... We could simplify this right down into like a cylinder. That's a shitty looking cylinder. But you know what I mean? Perspective. Boom. Now she's got headphones on. Now she's just going for a leisurely stroll. Right? And to get this feeling like it's meant to fit on her head, perspective. Right? Combine them. That's the fastest way I've found to understand concepts, you know? Ben, have you seen Will Weston's art teaching? I have. I'm a big fan. Big fan. All right. Look, guys, I think we'll call it a day. Quick little recap. It was more of it was a chatty Cathy kind of stream, I tell you what. Oh no. Oh, okay, I didn't delete it. Right, started off with this little bit of playing around with some shapes. You know, quick little recap. Whipping in some color. Understanding where to push some colors, push some shapes, just a bit of fun, little warm up, and then we ended up just talking and doing some of this. Started off with this reference here, understanding the twist. We had some good poker talk, which was great. Catch you later, Stephen. You have a good one. Joe, about to turn midnight here. It was lovely to hang out with you all. Hopefully catch you next time. Do you have a set streaming schedule? I certainly do, Joe. Perfect timing. You can catch this stream every week, Monday, Australian Central Standard Time, 10:45 a.m. Pacific Time, Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Daylight Time, 4 or 4:30 p.m. I can't remember, around that time. Joe, usually 4 hours prior to right now. Yeah, 2.5, 3. Yeah, I usually don't go that long anymore. But you never know. You never know. So yeah, we started off with this reference. Okay, closer to the reference photo, understanding this twist here in the body and the hips. And then we beefed her up a little bit because I had a question about changing the body type. Took her to the gym for about a couple of years. Changed the head angle, talked about how just manipulating the head angle a little bit can make things feel a little bit more natural, because it's very rare to see something straight on front or on the side or exactly 3/4. So we did a little bit of a 3/4 down tilt and back. And yeah, and it was a lot of chatting today, but I enjoyed myself. I hope you did. Let me just catch up with chat. Can you set up an event for your stream in Discord? You can do that. We'll see that in our own time zones. I need to write that down. Let me just write that as a note. I didn't even know that was a thing. Let me just add event to Discord, recurring to show time zones for stream. Correct me. Stream schedule. Nice one. Yep, I will definitely do that. Thank you very much for that. All right, as always, it's an absolute pleasure. For those in chat, you're bloody legends. For those that aren't, you're still legends. It's an absolute pleasure, as always, for me to sit here, chat, learn some stuff. Hopefully you learned some stuff. I learned some stuff. There's a good bit of practice, and I'll catch you guys next week. Akash, my apologies. I'm just about to leave. Appreciate you popping in though. All right. I'll catch you in the next one.